Welcome to the social science class, children. And today we are going to continue the lesson, the freedom struggle, which we already started in our previous session. We have learned many things about how the freedom struggle or what are the moments which took place during the freedom struggle. How the people of India struggle to attain the freedom for the country. And for that, Gandhiji became the torch bearer for the country. He guided the people of India in one or the other way to attain the freedom. So, in this context, the different movements took place. And when we talk about the movements, the first and foremost movement which took place was the Rowlatt Act in 1920, where the people were against this Rowlatt Act. So as this Rowlatt Act told the people, or in this act, the government has the power to arrest anyone and send him or her to the jail without any trial. The second incident which took place was Jallianwala Bagh in 1990, and then Khilafat movement, then non-cooperation movement, where this movement the Gandhiji called off the movement because 22 policemen were burnt in this movement. Simon Commission, where the people were not ready to accept this commission and protested as the Simon Cope Act. Now comes in the history the year 1929. And in 1929, the Lahore session took place. The annual session of the Congress was held at Lahore 1929. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was elected the president of the Congress and he demanded Poorn Swaraj. The meaning of the Poorn Swaraj is complete independence. Poorn means complete, Swaraj means independence of a country. So two important decisions were taken in the session. What were those two decisions? Number one, 26th January was to be declared as the Independence Day every year. Yes, the first decision was taken for the independence of India, that has to be counted on the 26th January every year. Whereas the second was the civil disobedience movement was to be launched in 1930. So after 1929, the next movement which the Indian, under the guidance of Gandhiji, the next movement which is going to be launched was in 1930. So now let us talk about this incident, that was the movement, the civil disobedience movement. Civil disobedience movement 1930. Dandi March. This movement started with the famous Dandi March. Gandhiji reached Dandi, a small village on the seashore in Gujarat, and broke the salt law by taking the salt in his hand. The British government had increased tax on salt, yes, which was consumed even by the poorest of the poor. Children, we all know that this salt as we all know, we get on the seashores. So, what the Britishers did? They started imposing tax, or has increased the tax on salt. And salt is the basic thing which is consumed by the poorest of the poor. Everyone need a salt in the every ingredients which I use for any edible. Yes. So as a result, what happened? The Dandi March started. Mahatma Gandhi started his famous Dandi March on 12 1930, on March 12, 1930, from his Sabarmati ashram with 78 followers. This was the journey of the Dandi March. And he reached Dandi on April 6. And what he did there? He broke the law by making salt from the sea water. So this is the way how they showed the Britishers that they can, this is a country, and how can they impose the taxes, how they can increase the taxes on the salt, which is for the poorest of the poor. Yes. And thousands of people defied the law and were taken prisoner. Yes, they were as the prisoners. British government took them to the prison. After Gandhi March comes the Gandhi Irwin Pact, 1931. Lord Irwin signed a pact with Gandhiji, and Gandhiji agreed to take part in second round table conference. It was very important. And in this act, or we can say when this Gandhi Irwin Pact conference was there, Irwin agreed to release all political prisoners who were captured by the Britishers. Then comes a Government of Indian Act, 1935. Slowly now we are moving towards 1945. Still 10 years are there, 47. Still 10 to 12 years are there. So when we talk about the Government of Indian Act, it means this act permitted more participation. Yes, this act permitted more participation of Indians in the administration. Secondly, election for state assemblies were held. And thirdly, when this election were held, the Congress participated in the elections and formed government in 6 states. Yes, in the 6 states of India, the government of Congress was there. This was the impact of these acts. The Second World War and Congress. Let us see the role of the Congress in the Second World War. In 1939, the Second World War began. The British government asked the Congress to cooperate with the government. Yes, the British government requested the Congress to participate or to cooperate with the government. The British government sent Sir Stafford to India for this mission. But his mission failed, and the Congress decided not to cooperate the Britishers or with the government. Then comes the Quit India movement, 1942. Now we are reaching very close to the independence of India. The Indian National Congress decided to start the third mass movement when? August 8, 1942. And the name given to this movement was the Quit India movement. Means the Britishers should quit India, leave India now. This is our country. Gandhiji gave the slogan to the people. What was that? Either do or die. Either make or force them so that they can leave our country, or we should die for our country. So this movement continued till India got its independence in 1947. Now let us talk about Netaji and Azad Hind Fauj. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was born on 23rd January, and he was one of the main leaders of the Indian freedoms or the Indian movement. He was put under house arrest by the Britishers. He escaped to Kabul, from where he reached Italy, and from Italy to Germany, and from Germany then he moved to Japan. He organized the Indian National Army, INA, or Azad Hind Fauj. His army reached Kohima, and he coined 3 slogans. What were the 3 slogans? Delhi Chalo. Why Delhi Chalo? Because Delhi, Red Fort, Indian flag should be there. Yes, Indian flag to be hosted over there. Number 2, give me blood, I'll give you freedom. Give me blood means you fight with me for the freedom of the country. Maybe you lose your life. Maybe you have to sacrifice your life for the same. Then only I'll be able to give you freedom. And finally, which is very common, every child from Indian child knows this slogan. That is Jai Hind. So that was the slogans given by the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So now finally we reach to the 15th August 1947. The British government decided to free India. According to the Lord Mountbatten plan, India was to be divided into the 2 different countries. What were those? India and Pakistan. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of free India. Whereas when we talk of the Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the founder of Pakistan. Then came the drafting of our constitution. So India drafted its own constitution. Indian constitution is taken from the 7 countries. It is the world longest constitution, children. And it was implemented on 26 January 1950. That means it took 2 years, 18 months and few days to compile this constitution or to make this constitution. This was the time taken for making the constitution of India. And this constitution was implemented on 26 January 1950. Thus, India became a republic country on 26 January 1950. Dr. Rajendra Prasad as its first president. So this was the history of India, of the freedom struggle. We started a journey from 1919 to 1947 in this chapter, learning about the different acts, the different incidents, different moments which took place to attain finally to reach to the 15th August 1947. And now when we are as a free one, it is because of this struggle which was being done by the different soldiers of India. Yes. So that is how we attain the freedom of India. Thank you, children.